If I place curse on you, you will not last 24 hours. Wallahi billahi iznillah, you will not last 24 hours. If I, Mujahid Ogbas, I place a curse on you, as you have been placing curse on people, 24 hours you will not last. Because you are a fake and you are a liar. There's hardly any crisis in the north that is rooted in religion. So the Hausa people, farmers that are being killed in Sokoto and in Kebbi by the so-called bandits or whatever they are called, why are they killing them? Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are listening to me. The pronouncement of mad Donald Trump, the lunatic United States of America, had triggered more hate in Nigeria than had solved the problem. I listen to many people. Sometimes I get angry because when people are deliberately lying, they're lying. And they claim that they are men of God. And I think maybe they are playing with God. They are just playing with God. Thou shalt not take the name of thy Lord thy God in vain. They are using the name of God in vain. One of such character is this fellow they call Dasama. You are not the only person that can talk rubbish. Evangelist or Pastor Dachamo or Ezekiel Dachamo. That guy is a pathetic and pathological liar. A liar from the pit of hell. Over the years, there have been rivalry in the north, except people who don't study history. There have been conflict in the north. Tribal conflict along tribal lines, and this had metamorphosed into religious conflict. And so when they talk about Christian genocide and they bring Tinubu inside that Christian genocide, I look at it and I ask myself, are these people well? I am not Tinubu's lawyer. I am not Tinubu's advocate. But when you look at Tinubu now, do you think Tinubu will have anything to do with religious crisis? His wife is a Christian. His son, Cheyi, that is everywhere, is not a Muslim, which everybody knows. Tinubu himself knows. Cheyi is not a Muslim. His wife is not a Muslim. His daughter, Mrs. Ojo, even though she's a Muslim, she's married to a Christian. Why can't we tell ourselves just the raw truth? And people are afraid to talk. I saw that stupid, idiotic Igbo man who had been talking on channel. They bring him to shoot out hate, raw hate. He's not talking about the killings going on in Igbo land. Many Igbo towns and villages have been reduced to rubble. Desolate, they cannot go home. That is the truth of the matter. These liars are everywhere on television station talking rubbish. You are talking. Where have you been attacked? We know it. We have first-hand information about what is happening. And the government know these things. The government know these things. So if Birom and Hausa people are fighting, Birom and Hausa people are fighting in the north. If Birom and Hausa people are fighting in the north, how does that translate? How does that translate to Christian Muslim genocide? Do we not know how the Gom Jos was appointed? We don't know how the Gom Jos was appointed. Was he appointed because Birom hold Jos? What of the Jarawas, who are almost majority Muslims? Is it not Sadwana Sokoto, a Sokoto man, a Fulani, a Muslim, that appointed his private secretary as the first Gom Jos? When there was agitation for Emir of Jos. People don't read this, so they don't know anything. They come to lie.
In this arena now, over the cover-up and the invasion of the U.S. government. Now, Pastor Ezekiel Tabacho has come out to reveal that Mayeti Allah and the Nigeria police are working hand in hand together, and that 46 Mayeti Allah foreign bandits were being arrested yesterday, and today, when on getting to the station, those bandits has been released, sir. What do you think is happening in the one Nigeria, sir?
The narrative is still ongoing. I have seen invasions in different states currently now, about a few days ago now, and this is what the regime Gio, Adeboye was trying to tell Bola Ahmed Tinubu to try to do something within 100 days to show Americans that he is actually serious. But he's not doing that. But instead, we are seeing him, bringing in more and more, extremists from different parts of the world to pay him visit in Asari'S, and they're signaling that he might be part of what is happening. Unfortunately, yes, because we saw when since APC came into power, this issue of killing skyrocketed, and it actually started under Jonathan. The same people where they have Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Raoul Adribo, Shalalai Muhammad, Erufai them, this guy too. All these guys, we are just part of the first attack on United Nations headquarters in Abuja. That was where the whole thing, actually started. Then before we know it, we'll begin to see a group called Mayeti Allah, coming up, stronger with direct federal government support, and the issue of Ruga, the issue of grazing bill, and all that. So a lot of things we are factored in, trying to push this agenda and trying to resettle, the Fulanis in Nigeria, in all the 36 states in the country, to make the conquest more easier. But unfortunately, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, rose up, and there was this reawakening and awareness, and there was stiff resistance in that regard. And since that time, they are bent on invading any place they have with the federal government backing. Yes, because if the federal government are not backing them, they won't be invading people's farm, invading people's land. At the end of the day, if they have been arrested under 24 hours, they are being released. and that is what we are saying. And when some of these governors from the middle belt start talking about their experiences, that when these guys are being apprehended, and before you know it, either they push them directly, they call them repentant Boko Haram, and push them into the military, and push them to the eastern part of the country. They went there and joined the Bugago. That was what the report was saying. Buhari mix them up with the Bugago, mix them up with the Nigerian military, and they continue to destabilize, cause insecurity in the eastern part of the country. We can see number of times churches are being invaded in the eastern part of the country, Enugu, Ebonyi State, and others. And that was just it. So what Pastor Ezekiel was trying to bring to the global community, to the global world, is that in spite of what the United States of America has declared, these things are still happening, and the government of Nigeria is not doing anything, sending a certain signal. Maybe they are ready for uncertainty, and if it happens, then so be it. That's the message out there. But I think it might turn to be something they will not believe at the end of the day, especially those who are engaged in these criminal atrocities and disaliving of thousands and millions of Nigeria, sending them to IDP camp just because they want this country, Nigeria, Islamized.
But sir, why are the Northerners? Why are they scared of this? Why are they covering up all these atrocities? Are they scared of division? Because they are saying that even if Nigeria divides today, they would not that Syria can stand on their own. So why are they scared of division?
Because yes, it will be too difficult for them to kickstart a process of a nation building because of their nature that is tied with politics and religion. They tie these two together. This concept of being tied together, this ideology are being tied together, so they do not separate them. But in the other side, you see, the only hardworking and steaming race or tribe in Nigeria currently now are the Igbos. They are the ones that stayed under the sun. They are the ones that keep the economic activities in the country, going on. So this type of people now, they will not find it very difficult, to kickstart their own nation and build their own nation properly the way they actually wanted it. So what the Northerners are looking at now is to use a political conquest, to steal and control the resources of the Biafra land, and that is just it. So that they just sit one place and be commanding billions and dollars into their pocket and use it to maintain oppression and suppression at the end of the day. So that's actually what they wanted. That is the essence of the caliphate. So that's actually what it means. So how would you continue to look at that direction? You would not feel that if this thing happens this way or goes another direction, definitely we are going to play zero game at the end of the day and lose completely from anything that has to do with trying to kickstart a nation on their own. So it's a very difficult one to run a sovereignty like that. So but at this point in time now, see, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Let them try it and see the consequences of trying to kickstart a nation from the scratch. Now what it means that now they have to be independent, but they're not asking, why are they afraid of emulating Saudi Arabia? Why are they afraid of emulating Qatar? Why are they afraid of emulating some Muslim nations that has grown up to become what they are today and become relevant within the committee of international community? Why is they not afraid of that? So but they are already enjoying this segment they created already in the south. You see, so you can see if they can come out and tell you that in the next 20 years they will Islamize the entire Yoruba nation, then what will happen in the eastern part of the country? So they're already looking at the resources. They are looking at so let them look inwards and steam and sweat and know what it means, to grow and kickstart a nation under the. If that is what they fear, then at that point, maybe they'll be able to know whether how they are going to separate politics from religion, and if they're able to do that, then we'll definitely know what is going to become of them in the few years after Nigeria have finally disintegrated.
But Pastor Pastor Ezekiel Damacho has come out to say that the Plateau State is not North Central, and that Plateau State would rather team up with the southern part of the country.
There's nothing like the southern part. That's the fear we are having.
Yes,
there's nothing like south.